is Izzy Moreno, and you're watching Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host JC. Joining me is that guy Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? 2024. Let's get going.
Yeah, fun times. Yeehaw.
So unenthusiastic this intro.
This is one of those weird limbo shows where we're kind of like, we're not recapping, we're just previewing, and it's like, hey, kind of chill show today, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just that. I had parent-teacher meet the teacher tonight, so I got home from that not too long ago.
Well, no, to be fair, I had to get up early so I could cut my grass, so I'm tired actually.
Oh yeah, that sucks. What's up, Angel, James, Burnsy? Glad y'all are in already.
See how much chaos we might have in the show after last week. That was nuts.
Dude, last week's show was one of the most insane things I think we've had on this show in a long ever. Yeah. That short of the words hybrid student interview being involved.
So much that Logan Pettis now apparently on Facebook has an assistant that has taken over, and I'm not really sure what's going on, but like he's got someone else in charge of his Facebook for like a few. I don't know. It was weird, and I'm not. He says he's not hacked, but sounds like someone who got hacked would say. So who knows?
Like hacked. Yeah. Well, we are going to spend some time today talking about a lot of stuff happening within the San Antonio area as far as local wrestling goes.
Yeah.
United 210 has their big show on Friday night. We're going to talk about that. Hybrid Experience is going on Saturday. And then, Tom, you mentioned Dog Pound is running Saturday and Sunday this week?
Yeah, they're going to be in, damn it. What's the name of this town right up here?
Castroville?
Castroville, thank you. Yeah, Castroville. They're going to be at Castroville on Saturday, and then they'll be at Biggs by UTSA on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
I'm hopefully going to make the Sunday show, but Saturday, of course, It's
been a long time since Castroville had some wrestling. That's pretty cool.
No, actually, Dog Pound. When were we there? Back in May?
May or
April?
June.
Or June, something like that.
Yeah, because that's where Haas is in that, from that area, so he tries to get shows out there. And dude, it is really cool to see it out there because the kids out there freaking love it. Yeah. And Misty Marks, loves yelling at those kids, so she's having a good time too.
I remember very much the SCW crowd. It's very kid friendly and stuff like that, and
well, kid friendly till Misty Marks gets out there. Then it's like kiddish. It's kiddish friendly. I mean. Yeah. That's when they become teenagers, I think, a little bit.
Yeah,
in more ways than one. Anyway,
Rebel Texas Wrestling. I'll be up in Lubbock for Rampage Wrestling.
Oh, Rebel, nice. What's up, man? Yeah, no. He's always trying to get me up that way for more rest because, like, dude, he tells me some of the shows going on up there. They're insane. They got some.
And I don't know if it's in Rampage Wrestling, but one of our old friends usually wrestles up there in Lubbock. Mm-hmm. I don't know what he's going by now. JC. Bravo was his name at the time.
Yeah. What is his name now? That's a good question. Hold on. I don't know what his name is.
But I think I've seen him doing some kind of like Cholo Raza type stuff.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff he shares. So good.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll just talk a bit about what's all going on this weekend. On the news front of things, Square Circle Pro in Lubbock. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As far as what's news sort of things, MVP debut with AEW tonight. As if that guy hasn't been just about every promotion that's ever existed at this point.
He needs to keep padding that resume. For a rainy day. So.
Do you think Tony Khan would spring for the inflatable entrance? We never got that back. So.
Why wouldn't he?
True.
Why wouldn't he?
Oh,
the full Power Ranger outfit.
Also, Rebel answering some questions. Misty Mark is the Squared Circle Pro champion, as West Texas Women's champion as well, and JC Bravo is up there in Squared Circle Pro. So
he's been there quite a while. He moved up there a while back. So
well, congrats to him. I still have many fond memories of me worrying he was dead.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, seriously. There's so many moments I thought that ACW killed him. I was like, oh no! Oh, he's alive, thank God.
Oh, Los Carnales. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Carnales World.
On the news
God.
front of things, besides MVP, if you don't know by now, yes, the Mr. McMahon docuseries has made its debut on Netflix. I know there's a lot of controversy around that person. I will let you know, as somebody who, one, is a history major, I kind of felt I had to watch it because I'm kind of into that.
Well, I'm gonna watch it now that I know it talks crap about him.
Yeah, it's well, okay. I've only seen the first 4 episodes so far. 6 are out right now. What's interesting, like so far, they do acknowledge from the beginning all these interviews that they recorded with Vince McMahon and Dave Meltzer and Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Eric Bischoff, The Undertaker, Linda, even, Linda, Stephanie, Triple H.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know it was that deep.
So
Okay. Cool.
They started recording these interviews in 2021.
Sorry, the irony of that's amazing to me.
Shortly before they were sitting down to do like the final wrap-up interview with Vince, like they put all this footage together, they would do the final interview. That's when the breaking news hit about all the allegations that we are now aware of. So they never got to do that.
Several fans.
Yeah.
So does
Succession.
Linda have any comments on all the non-disclosure agreements?
I haven't gone that far yet. That's the thing. I haven't gone that far. I don't know if she's going to talk about it. Linda really is acknowledging a lot of the stuff in his early career. Like they go back to his childhood, how he got involved with his dad's promotion, how he had to basically have a bidding war to buy it from his father at some point. I won't spoil who else was looking to buy that promotion besides him.
Oh, now I.
But it's Vince. Like he said, he acknowledges from the front. He doesn't like to talk about himself, but yeah, I know. But you get like an inside thought of his thought process as things were going on, as the 80s was coming up, as the WCW started competing, as they started taking talent from him, as he damn near going out of business. Like, what was his mindset? Why didn't he change with the times initially and stuff like that? So I'm at the point right now through this story where Owen has just passed away.
Okay.
So
I'm not laughing at that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. How he came up with the idea for WrestleMania, how much of a big deal closed circuit TV was at the time,
Colossal Tussle, or whatever he wanted to name it.
Yeah, he just basically said he needs a Super Bowl.
Oh, they didn't say that, did they? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's actually Dad Squared because I have 2. Yeah, I can't see the 2 there, but thank you, Angel. So yeah, it's interesting. His upbringing is not what I expected. And that's that. I think that kind of shocked me from the beginning. So he's very much, at least honest at that point about what's going on out there. They don't shy away from controversies. The steroid controversy of the 80s, him going on Phil Donahue. I forgot about that show, right? And that whole thing. Bob Costas. They interviewed Bob Costas with a lot of stuff because Vince and him worked together. All the lawsuits around Rita. I forget what is her name. That female ref in the 80s that they had.
Oh, I know. Rita, was it Edgerton?
No, it was
or something like that. But
yeah,
let's talk about that.
Rita Chatworth or something like that.
Yeah. When that guy from ABC News was going around calling it fake, and then what's his face started slapping him backstage, the lawsuits for that. I mean, they cover quite a bit, and it's pretty thorough. So as any Bill Simmons documentary would be. So, but yeah, Meltzer is kind of the level.
Do they cover some of the well-known scandals involving the personnel of the WWE, like the ref who accused him of sexual assault way back in the 80s, the Ring Boys, and that stuff? Okay.
Yep. They talk about all that. They don't shy away from any of it. All that is discussed, and so it's pretty honest. Everyone gives their honest opinion on things. The curtain call, even to the curtain call point, obviously that we know of, the screw job, everything like that. So, and even going so far back as to the Wendy Richter thing. Most people don't know that. If you don't know that story, Montreal wasn't the first time he did a screw job. So,
I didn't know that until years later.
Yeah.
I don't want to go off too far in a tangent, but I've had this thought for years now, right? the Montreal screw job at least happened because they were afraid of Brett going to WCW with their title basically as champion, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. After the Survivor Series match, does he not have to walk back behind the curtain? Are you really not allowed to go, hey, Brett, why don't you give us that belt to hold on to? If you decide to continue to make towns, we'll give it back to you. Like, I know most champions, even the ones we know around here, take belts with them. But for years, when I got older, it was like, you run the company. Why can't you take the belt when they come back behind the curtain? Like, you own the belt.
They don't talk about this part of it in the docuseries, but like from what stuff I've heard, back then, like they really sold the kayfabe. Like the champion was the champion.
No, I get that.
But I think the initial, I think what they planned to do obviously was Brett said, I don't want to lose it to Shawn. I don't want to lose it in Montreal. Maybe on Raw, I'll drop it to Stone Cold. Like that's what he wanted.
Right? No, I remember that. And if I remember correctly, they were afraid that he still might. Oh, did you freeze, JC?
I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, well, your video froze.
That is
at least to us. Okay,
it's frozen too. I don't know why it looks
okay.
Like
and it froze at a great time, by the way. No, I know, and I remember the talk about that, and I remember at least what they said at the time was they were afraid he would go rogue or WCW would convince him to bring the belt. But again, I thought about this like for years, and I was like, you get back, but no, it's even better.
I'm just gonna leave it like that.
I don't know. That's just the personal thing.
Yeah.
In my head about that I was always like, they made it more than it had to be, didn't they?
I always just thought like if he does that, then just I didn't think it was ever that big a deal.
Well, you know what's funny? Do you remember what WCW did when the Radicals went to WWE? Do you remember that Benoit pinned?
Oh yeah, he was
Sid at one of their shows, and then literally what they did is Arn Anderson came out and been like, actually at the show last night, Sid's foot was under the rope, and so he shouldn't have lost the belt. We're giving it back to him. I mean, it's lame, but you could have done something like that. Like literally, when he comes back from the belt, Survivor Series, they could have done a DQ shenanigans and been like, oh well, he came back and he said some things, and we stripped him of the title. He's not the champ. Sorry.
That'll just bury the hell out of him and strip him of the title. Just say blah blah blah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, granted, it became one of the most talked about things, and something that really changed, and in a sense, propelled him into the Attitude Era. But
true. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I don't know. I guess the more logical, like as I've gotten older, I was like, it seems like a problem you didn't.
The older we get, we were all thinking there were like a ton of ways he could have done that, and he still went with that. Let's go with the worst one.
Y'all are a bunch of little children, aren't you?
Yeah, and honestly, as you know, that statement Vince McMahon put out on his Twitter account about the series and stuff taken out of context. First of all, if you're doing a docuseries like this, stuff is going to get taken out of context. It's just the way it goes. Thus far, 4 episodes in, it doesn't look. I mean, the only thing that made me cringe was his explanation for why they continued after Owen passed. It's real subtle, but I was like, oh, why? It just doesn't make any sense. Especially when the fucking bloodstain was right there, still in the ring,
And when I say things are going to be misconstrued and everything, what did I say? Oh yeah, we don't give a f about your raggedy ass feelings. Anyway, so
yeah, so
yeah, there's too much with stories from too many people to make me believe he's scot-free in the things he's been accused of.
And even if some of the things aren't as bad as as portrayed, which is entirely possible. That doesn't mean that he's not a trash person. Like,
no, yeah. Yeah. And, he says in that Twitter statement, there's 2 sides to every story. No, Vince, there's not. There's 3 sides. There's your side, there's the other person's side, and then there's the truth. So I would say if you're a wrestling fan, especially if you lived through that time, I think it's worth the watch. I'm saying that 4 out of 6 episodes in. Really just, I'm a history guy. I love to see that stuff. I love to see that side of the thing. Like I love that stuff. That's just, what I get into. So, and it interests one of my big things, like wrestling. So
I've been convinced. I'm going to check it out now. It's just that I was like, I'm in no mood for praise Vince McMahon's name party. I just wasn't in the mood. But now that I know that there's more to it than that, I'm in.
No, it's pretty even. It's pretty 50-50. It's not either way, So
although did you hear the breaking news that apparently now Raw's actually moving to Hulu, not Netflix? Which is strange because that's Disney, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Raw moves to Tubi.
I mean, Disney's got
Well,
Deadpool now.
It's on that any original program on that damn stream.
If they're going to allow Deadpool 1, 2, and Deadpool Wolverine on Disney Plus, I think they're okay to have WWE.
Well, you have to put a code in to get to those. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right.
Yeah, but so there's apparently Logan Pettis or whoever's taking care of Logan Pettis, Bassem Silmani. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yep. Any other wrestling news on the front right now?
Nothing I can think of.
I mean, Dynamite happened tonight. Besides the MVP, Moxley did beat Darby to take his title shot. So it is Brian Danielson and Moxley at Wrestle Dream. That's on Court TV.
I just saw Jason's comment.
I mean,
part of it might be Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And then also Danielson did have his match with Nigel McGuinness to kick off Dynamite, which apparently was Nigel's first singles match in almost a decade, is what they said, or something like that.
Yeah.
So
still my little ROH
stuff there. And then actually on a more connected to a local scene, last night on NXT, Ren Sinclair had a shot at the North Americans women's title. She came up a little bit short. I may be completely 100% biased, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think Ren Sinclair is already more talented than Kalani Jordan, and I think they just pushed Jordan because she's one of those athletes turned wrestlers that they love right now at NXT.
Yeah. I was at work Tuesday, and I was on Facebook, and
Roku TV.
Should be hilarious. Yeah. I smiled like an idiot when I saw Ren Sinclair's graphic pop up on the screen because I was like, "Yo, she's really out there doing this thing right now, man. It's really awesome." So it's just I'm super happy for her, super proud of her. She's just killing it.
And I think they realized when they started giving her a little more time how great she is with the character, because it's not her main character, if you will.
Yeah.
But what she's doing and the crazy hyping them up by slapping them and going all stuff, but good. Just I also go back to a couple of weeks ago when she basically was challenging people for Charlie Dempsey and then Oba Femi's music hit, and it makes like, I'm so sorry. Just she's doing good. I just can't wait to see more of her. And
yeah.
And
she'll have gold eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure. That sorry, I'm so sorry. Just to me, just screams, no further questions.
Yes, exactly. So yes, James, we're all there. Go Ren.
Yeah.
Go Ren.
She's killing it with this character.
I'm loving seeing all this Tubi, Court TV.
TV. Dude. I've been watching Silver Spoons. There you go, Rebel.
For all we know, they're going to bring back Tout just to put it back on there. Remember they tried to do that shit?
God, I forgot about Tout. They were trying to push that shit.
Don't tell Brian Danielson that. He might show back up in WWE just for that.
Oh, he
loved that.
Making fun
he
of that.
did.
Yeah. Stop trying to make Tout happen. It's not going to happen. All right. Well, we're going to spend some time today talking about a couple of or a few events that are happening within the San Antonio area. Locally, what we have coming up this Friday, United 210, Saturday, Hybrid Experience, Saturday and Sunday also is Dog Pound Wrestling within the area.
Yep.
On the RCW front, they have their honor ceremony on October 19th, and then they have the next RCW event on October 20th. And then BOW is running on November 9th.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I completely forgot for a second.
Could potentially be the last show for a while. We don't know.
Actually, Jason, we get out the idea to ask you something about that I may need Tina's help for.
Okay, cool. No. Hashtag math, right? All right.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yes, but no. Okay.
Let's start though with United 210. This one is, quite frankly, gotten the most hype out of any of these shows.
True.
Even to the point where they called out, wrestling media podcasts like ourselves to go out and cover a news conference.
Yeah, and, I remember that, Mike.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. Who was there for Countdown City WrestleCast?
Yeah.
Was Tommy there?
City WrestleCast, Mike.
I was there because none of you guys were going to be there.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate
I was
that.
out of town. Anyway,
Look, just because Callie wished you a belated happy 70th birthday, don't get mad at me.
Okay, for the last.
funny how every time we talk to her, he ages by like 10 years.
It seems
Apparently,
like it. Yeah.
it'll be like 140 by this
Although,
Friday.
if you watch their latest social media, again, I assume we're in the hybrid version, although it's somewhat leaked into RCW. There's a little tension with the Cholas. I don't know if you watched it.
It's kind of meshing a bit. We're getting the whole NXT TNA vibe here with hybrid and RCW.
A little bit right now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, Jason, thank you. Look at that, Tommy. Look what Jason said.
Yeah.
No.
Damn, well, you bring up a good counterpoint, so it's hard to argue with that.
Anyway.
Nah, don't feel like it. Not gonna happen.
Mike, you got the card in front of you, I think, for United 210.
Yeah, so first of all, show is called This Is How We Do It.
Yeah.
We have still not confirmed whether Montel Jordan is showing up at this. We feel like it's less likely.
I mean, if we just gotta get it turned up, we can get it turned up.
Angel says hello too, by the way.
Is there such a thing as Montel Jordan impersonators? You know, we get those.
There must be. There's not.
There's got to be.
Or just play the karaoke track. I got you.
Yeah,
I can actually sing.
Montel Jordan tribute artist or something.
I think a good amount of
be.
I think a good amount of the crowd would be able to sing along with that.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. The big draw to this show is that they are having a 30-person, what they are calling Sangre por Sangre Southside Rumble, right? And the winner of that is supposed to get a title shot at the next show. Yep. However, because apparently one Battle Royal type match was not enough, apparently they're kicking off with what appears to be a 10-person win and you're in Battle Royal. So I assume this is going to be 10 people in the ring to begin with, and the winner gets the final entry into the main event. So
the winner gets the final entry into the chips and salsa.
Into the big one, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Blood for blood. It appears to be 10 people. According to this, it is Juggernaut Josh Galvan, Axe Manson, Buzzer, Don't Call Me Tommy Bolton, Jacob Toa,
He better not.
Unruly Mata Mendez,
Muy bien.
Prince Lai, King Cobra, Drew Dredd, Casey Cream, and Danny King. So apparently they're going to have their own mini battle royal to get into the bigger battle royal. James, stop it with the family connections. God damn it. Spoiler alert, Don Juan wins. None of us Don want to see that, so don't even start.
None of us don't want to see
that. So
that's who booked this shit. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the other things. So kind of cool because this also she's also going to be at the hybrid show. Missa Kate is going to be in San Antonio this weekend. That was, if y'all remember, the first person, the person that Izzy got her first win against at Mission Pro. It was a really tough match. At the yard at United 210, she will be teaming up with Stash to take on Calientita and Chris Marvel. So I'm sure Tommy will enjoy that match.
I'm just determined to be sad, aren't I? Some days, just because Callie and Marvel at the same time.
Yeah, but you know, there's a good chance Mr. Kate's going to beat her up a bit.
I mean, that's the silver lining of the day,
right?
Yeah.
We also have Epidemius Jr. versus B-Boy.
Okay, so I am a gigantic B-Boy fan.
Okay.
And I'm so looking forward to this. If you guys don't know, he wrestled a lot for PWG, and he's a California staple. And so, and he wrestled in Texas one of the time that I got to meet him, and that was in Austin. So I'm just, it's going to be awesome to see him back.
Eliza, you haven't missed much. We just kind of introed the show, talked about some news, and we're getting into the local shows. This weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so I know Tommy's going to be at the show because Brick Savage is wrestling.
Don't summon Brick Savage.
Are you going to be at the show on Friday?
Probably.
Is Brick Savage going to be at the show?
That doesn't mean anything. I go to a lot of shows where wrestlers are at.
But this match is going to be a bit of the. There's going to be a meat match, if you will. This is Brick Savage versus Hit with 2 T's. He's a trainee from Dustin Rhodes School. who's been at BW a lot earlier and is now starting to be at a few other shows. He actually wrestled Jesse Funaki in the pre-show at RCW. So that should be a good match between them two. Their title match is a triple threat that they announced at the press conference. Well, I guess their title match yet. The champion, Little Evil, who is the world's biggest Mexican, against Chase Owens and Cody Lane. So Bullet Club involved in the title match there.
Yep.
Throwback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Meets me.
And then of course we have the 30-person Sangre por Sangre Battle Royal, Southside Battle Royal.
Chips in the
from
salsa.
what I said. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is supposed to be co-ed, if you will, both men and women available for that. So I don't know if a woman winds up winning if they go for the United 210 champion, because there is not currently a United women's champion. They don't have a belt for that as of right now.
I think this promotion, it's open to men and women.
It feels like it has that vibe.
That's how it feels to me.
Brick Savage was the main event in a 6-man. Brick Savage is
okay,
quite a beat.
I wasn't there. I didn't summon him there.
Well, that's why he turned on his partner.
Yeah.
Because you didn't summon him correctly.
You weren't there.
What?
You did the wrong. I don't even know how that stuff works because I don't really follow that stuff.
No,
I'm
you gotta watch
so much of a nerd. I know like 8 different ways I can summon.
I believe you 100%. So from everything else I can see, those are the main matches, and obviously with a 30-man Rumble, that's gonna take a bit of time.
No, is it going to be they're all 30 people at once, or are they going to?
No, I think it's a Royal Rumble style.
Oh,
seems
boy.
to be what they're going for.
So that first 10-man one is just
So that's why I assume the 10-man one is going to be everyone in the ring to start with, because you're going for them the chance to get into like the big one. Now, James, that I am okay with.
Yeah,
I'm definitely down with Casey winning. Black Rose. Oh, Casey Martinez. What is that? I had to read that. I was like, why does that not sound right? Mm-hmm. Casey Black Rose winning and becoming
probably
Casey
tagged his actual Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sure he's your cousin's, uncle's, father's, brother's former roommate. Okay.
So what does that make them?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. That's right. Yeah.
That's the second time I've used that reference this week.
Comment if you know the movie, people.
Rebel, I thought we were friends.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Shout out to her, by the way. I mean,
awesome.
Wait, is that her new nickname?
Yes. Yeah. She'd mentioned wanting to go with that.
Look, shout out to
the headache I got earlier got worse.
Oh, shout out to Angela for this, because she's had such a great run with this character, being more herself, if you will, and even on social media has acknowledged how much her daughter means to her. Her daughter being ringside, her daughter doing her makeup and everything else. Her daughter, by the way, is celebrating her 14th birthday today, so happy birthday!
That's crazy.
Yes, it's nuts. We're feeling old.
Wait, how old?
14. Yep. 2010. And I remember this because while Tina and I were dating, we actually went to I remember this because it was October 10, 2010. We went to go see the Titans and Cowboys play in Arlington. Mia had been born, at this time 14 years ago. So we actually got to see Angela's daughter at that time, just a baby. And it's crazy that the first time we saw her was that weekend. Now she's 14 years old.
No, dude, that just broke me. Like legit.
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
hurt.
Tommy, look at that last statement of all things. When she faced Mercy, at SCP, she was the face.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening right now?
So
it's Morgan Mercy. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah.
I mean, now. And now she was a face. Well, it gets Morgan Mercy.
That's Rebel, like we've and JC really more than all of us, but Tommy too in his own special way. Have known Angel pretty much since she started wrestling. We what's it?
No, I was gonna say Rebel knows he used to take pictures for ACW.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
Is that
Yeah, that's the cameraman. One of the cameramen.
Yes, but what's the? Okay. Yeah, I've seen him at stuff recently. I thought if it's the same one I'm thinking of, but yeah, okay. But yeah, like we actually had her on the show too. I guess technically one of her last interviews as Angel Blue.
Probably was
for her last Mission Pro show. And off air, she had kind of talked about the change she had planned to come to. So we're really happy it's worked for her. It's weird, but seeing her booked over Texas with that name now, but like JC said, we're so happy for her.
I mean,
glad she's doing well.
Great in general, but whatever.
Yeah.
Tommy, she can change the name. That doesn't change her love for you.
Yes.
And I say love with
thank you. I was gonna say, what was that word you just
I say
used?
love with like 2 layers of quotation marks.
Still
right.
just as accurate.
All right.
Well, you know how she shows her love for you. Physically berating you.
Thank you.
Verbally berating you.
Any predictions on who you think walks away with this Sangare Chips and Salsa Battle Royal they're doing?
I want to say Casey does have a good shot at it.
I don't even know. And this feels like picking anything TNA related, so I don't even want to hazard a guess.
And because the other thing is, there's 30 people, and we know maybe like 7 or 8, honestly.
Yeah.
The people at the press conference, most of them pretty much threw their name in. So that was Casey, K-Jax, Eric Walker, Don Ron didn't specifically say, but the
yes,
Creatures are supposed to be involved.
Sure he's in, yeah.
Callie's supposed to be in there. There's supposed to be several women that are involved in that. So I feel like Casey, who was the former United 210 Heritage Champion and does currently have 2 belts in San Antonio, is a favorite. Mm-hmm. But it just also depends on how many other people are in there and who they got, because they did say there should be some surprises, people we haven't seen before, people we wouldn't expect to see. So first of all, Papa Stash's house is going to be packed.
Yeah,
that street's going to be packed. That parking's going to be crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Plot twist: I've been tearing up Texas and I am winning. Well, good job, Elijah. We don't mind coming in here if you're going to join us and sharing your successes.
I knew. I was gonna say Elijah. I knew his name. That's King Cobra. That's King Cobra. So I was like that
picture looked familiar, but it was kind of small.
His name looked familiar because I looked him up on IG. I found him by his name. I was like, wait, what is that? Wait, I do know that name. So that's King Cobra.
We saw you at the last United show. Very impressed with you, man.
I was gonna say, dude, if it is you winning, I would not be surprised. Dude, he's very impressive. Mike knows that. I was like, whoa, who's that dude? He's pretty good. So yeah. Wow, he complimented me. I totally don't know how to feel.
Yeah, in all fairness, he doesn't get told that very often, King Cobra.
No.
Good job.
And I work at a school. I still don't get told that all the time.
But yeah, and then as we've always said with the Yard, such an amazing atmosphere. Hopefully, cross your fingers, there's a cold front that comes through. Last time actually wasn't bad. There was like some nice wind that kind of blew through. And once that sun goes down behind the houses and the stuff, it's really not as bad. But
we're down by about 7:30.
Yeah, and that's about the time they start. Well, it's a wrestling show, so it's supposed to start at 7:30. Usually by 7:45, 7:50, they'll have a match. So.
I will say, when Kelly does show up, that's when the heat does show up. That's usually the heat from hell. But it's heat.
Oh, I was like, you calling her spicy?
No, I'm calling her a demon. So
a spicy demon.
I heard spicy.
I mean, if that's what they call her kind down
there.
So
actually, that's a good point, Tommy. I just saw this. King Cobra is in the Battle Royal to get the last spot. So you calling him to win the Battle Royal, so he gets into the main Rumble? He would have to beat Josh Galvan. He would have to beat your namesake Tommy Buzzer Tommy Bolton. Jacob Toa's in there.
I do like Jacob Toa. I will admit that, but he can beat them first 2 all you want. I don't give a damn. But I mean, yeah, I can see it winning the first one, the 10-man. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Interesting.
Besides, if Jacob Toa loses, I'm going to blame Don Fernando just because.
That's fair. That's 100% fair.
As far as the big battle royal, I feel like Casey's going to get targeted. Everybody knows who he is. I think everyone knows he's the favorite. So they really got to sell that whenever he gets in. I don't know when he's.
And that's the other thing. Just like the Rumble itself, the numbers, the order, so important. I mean,
so what if Calientito wins?
I will walk off a cliff. I
Like
don't know
gets
how.
the last entrant and just sneaks through victory somehow.
I will.
Well-
I will walk off a cliff. I don't know how high the cliff will be, but I'm walking off a cliff.
The good news to that is she'll find a way to rub it in Tommy's face. So
Yes.
If she
will.
wins,
Yeah.
I'm leaving before the event's over. Like if she wins, I'm getting up that second and leaving. I will
Well,
not be
thank
able
God
to
it's the
take
main event.
I don't know,
yeah.
Tommy. We might need to get security to hold you because we just need to see that interaction.
Yeah.
No,
If she were to
I don't
win.
want that. That'd be the worst thing ever.
I don't know if the Texas Wrestling Multiverse could hold Callie's ego if she won this.
You can't hold it now. What are you talking about?
Well, that's a good point.
Oh shit! Drop the baseball. Oh.
But
I cannot. I don't want to live in a world where Callie wins this.
well, I'm assuming she's not the only woman who's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Missa Kate could be pulling double duty. The other Cholas could be in there.
Think Izzy Moreno shows up for this one too.
I mean, she's in town. You never know.
Yeah.
And she's been at the yard several times before.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, let me put it this way. If you had to choose between one of the three Cholas to win, they had to win, but you had to choose between the three of them, which one would you choose?
As long as it's not Callie, I couldn't care less. If I had to choose between the three of them, I really am torn between. Okay, James, stop lying to yourself.
Yes, we get that you're torn between the two that are not Callie.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Can you choose between them?
It's kind of hard to.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. It's hard to. I don't know.
All right.
So, in other words, 3 is Callie, 1 and 2, you're okay either way.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a graphic, but United 210. This is how we do it. Is this Friday, September 27th, 7 p.m.
I know it says 7, but I think it's really 7:30.
7:30ish.
Yeah.
Okay. Kids 12 and under are free. I think the entrance is $10.
Yeah.
Bring your own chair. It's at the yard at 1003.
Bring your own chair. Bring your own beer. They have food. They do
Yeah.
have food carts and some vendors there on the outside. Yeah.
Get there early if you can. It's probably gonna be a packed house.
Yeah.
If you're too far away to see everything, bring a drone. Try and record it. Whatever you can do. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Those have been appearing at softball and baseball tournaments. I swear to God. All right. On to Hybrid Experience, which is taking place on Saturday evening. It's kind of weird. None of these are going to be on Title Match Network, so it's like one of those. If you got to see it, you got to be there, right?
Yeah, this time.
It's also weird that we live in an age where now you almost expect an indie show to be on something streaming. So
I mean,
it's a weird timeline we hit. So.
Right? I mean, and I kind of acknowledge this. Heavy Metal Wrestling did it. They put their stuff on Twitch. Their stuff on Twitch. So
Jason, who are you talking to?
I don't know.
Yeah, Jason, you got to be more specific. Because I don't know if you're talking about me, Mike, JC, someone else in the chat. I don't know.
What the fuck did I say?
James.
Anyway, this streaming thing, at least locally, like shout out Heavy Metal Wrestling. They would put their shows on Twitch. They would set something up, and
Yeah.
That's true.
it was kind of cool. It was kind of the next age of things. Obviously, after COVID, things started moving more online. We started moving to a live show, obviously, and it's kind of nice to see that. It really expands it out. But this, and I just realized I misspelled Invasion on this goddamn thing. Anyway, I was typing it real quick. Mike, you got the card for this one as well?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So it looks as of right now like there are 9 matches.
And Bastian. Oh.
Fan cams are
I
definitely
know.
cool.
Fix this
Sorry.
guy.
So we have some singles matches. We have Zakai Living taking on Cody Lane. Cody Lane, of course, in the United 210 Championship match the night before.
I've seen Cody Lane in a long time. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have it's going to be a good match for him, but obviously going against a veteran. We have Jesse Funaki taking on Chase Owens. So good learning experience for him. Hopefully he can pull out an upset, but it also is Chase Owens.
True.
Tommy, you should like this one. Chaos Kid making his hybrid debut against Drew Dredd.
I think he's returning to hybrid.
Has he been there before?
I think he was there one other time before.
Okay, I don't remember that one.
I might be wrong. That's what I thought. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
It's fine. But he comes from the Galvan School of Wrestling down in Corpus, and we saw him at the last Wrestling Shop show. There was a tag team match for the tag team championships. And this is something that has also kind of been interesting with RCW now that Casey has some belts on him. Flocking Brawlers not teaming as much, but this time Brandon Weiss teams with the somewhat returning Danny Vintage, who I think had been injured for a little bit after a couple of debut matches, or debuted at a couple matches, and I think he got injured for a little while. They're taking on the tag team champs, the Texas Kingdom, which is, of course, Stash and Rob Love. King Rob Love, of course.
Yep.
I'll come back to the highlights, so then there's this. I'll come back to the championship matches. What else do we have? Okay, so the only other non-title match after that is a singles match between David Kidd and Animo. And if you're at RCW, you know that David Kidd is starting to get angsty and moody. We think he may be hitting the teens.
I mean, he was. After at the show to crown the first champion. Is that
the next name?
Yeah, I feel like they're going to change from his song to something very emo. Something very mopey.
They should just call me. I got that list. I had that list since I was in high school.
It was actually really funny. After the RCW show, we were talking to people, and of course, the hybrid people are helping put chairs up and take the ring stuff down. And anytime David Kidd was walking by, like one time he was walking by with one of the guardrails, and everyone's just like, "Whoa, get out of his way!" He's in an angry mood. He's like, "That's right, get out of my way. I'm gonna hit y'all."
Yeah.
Coming soon, emo David Kidd. Yeah, that is what seems to be going. Okay, so I
got the playlist ready. I wish someone needs to call me.
So that's four matches that are regular singles. Well, 4 matches, and then the tag team title match of 5. The other title matches they've got Callie and Tita, the champion, putting up against Key Vibes. They are no strangers to each other. They have had many encounters. And this belt for sure does not have any question marks attached to it.
Not yet.
Emo Kid.
Emo Kid.
Actually, I can't lie. I like that name a lot. I can't even front.
Devin Carter will be putting the Rising Star Championship on the line against Crowley, which should be pretty fun.
That's a terrifying thought because Crowley's terrifying.
I've never seen them two face each other. They may have with as much as they go through Texas, but
yeah, I can't remember actually.
That should be a good one.
Yeah.
And then, as we mentioned a while back, even though they are taking a hiatus, the belts are not. The Mission Pro champion, Izzy Moreno, will defend again against the person she got her first Mission Pro win against, Missa Kate, who, like we said, is in town at the night before at United. So Izzy Moreno pretty much in a rematch with Missa Kate, this time, though, with the Mission Pro title on the line. So this is
Angel. That is one of the songs I would have picked because it's weird because I don't always consider that an emo song until someone points it out because I just love rocking out to that song. I don't even consider emo until someone points it out to me that it is.
Yeah, I think a lot of those songs that fall in that genre, like you were just so into, you're like, oh yeah, that is kind of
yeah.
Oh, I'm curious to see if he's going to get something from the new Linkin Park album because they just released the second song off that album.
They did? I didn't know they released the second song.
Yeah, Heavy as the Crowd. It sounded really good. It really is. I
like that first one, so yeah.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
And then what I assume is going to be the main event because the newly crowned hybrid champion, Casey Blackrose, defends against B-Boy. So that should be a hell of a match. His first title defense against someone with apparently quite a bit. What?
Other people comes out to not like us now because.
Oh.
I mean, it's at this point it's a California staple.
Yeah.
It's gonna be their new national anthem.
Miss Catherine, what is? No, I don't know if that's a joke or you misheard us, Rebel, but I don't think it was that. Yeah, no, we agree. I think everyone in this on here is the same page with Evanescence.
Yeah, Angel, I have every piece of music they've ever released because I even tracked down the stuff that they released online and downloaded it. I have that kind of Evanescence. They're one of the few bands I've ever seen live.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that. Amy Lee's voice is freaking amazing.
Oh my god! I remember the first time I heard her voice, I was like, dude, that is hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's the best description for her voice. But yeah, so as far as I see, that's 9 matches, 5 title matches, which is kind of cool. So this is West Coast or Coast to Coast Invasion, as you have B-Boy from the West Coast and Missa Kate from the Midwest Coast. Close enough.
Midwest Coast.
Well, she's from Chicago, so
I know, but
okay.
it's not really East Coast.
So Lake Michigan, got it. You know,
yeah.
Okay.
From the coast of Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan, yeah. So nailed it.
Ray, yeah, like your wife's obviously got good taste. Ooh, Angel, Fallen on Vinyl.
Does your generation know what vinyl is? That's
it's kind of become a retro thing.
Vinyl has made a serious comeback.
Wow.
Yeah. Because the people our age are the one making the ideas for stuff to sell. And
let me throw this out there. This is homecoming week where my wife works, and obviously I know she's a teacher. Today was like teachers dressed as students, students dressed as teachers.
Yeah.
And we were like looking through Walmart for stuff for her to wear, and I was like, babe, since this stuff is coming back, you should just get some FUBU. And this like wear those shoes and stuff. She don't want to do it, but anyway, but
she
still like
yeah.
It's starting to feel crazy to me that some of the stuff that was trendy when we were kids is coming back. It's just nuts. So, yeah. I swear to God, if y'all start bringing cassette players back, I'm gonna look at you like, what the hell are you doing? Those were such a nightmare. So
I just want CDs to come back. I just miss CDs. I love
the age of digital music, man. It's just not worth it at this point.
Well, okay,
but no, MP like okay.
Like MP3 players disguised as a Walkman?
I still buy music off iTunes. I legitimately do because I don't trust streaming. And I like my music.
All right.
I keep it. The
thing that sucks about all that media being replaced is you don't really own it. You know, like, I've got what is the freaking thing? I've got Spotify.
Yeah.
I pay a little bit and I listen, but like it can be gone at any point if something crazy happens.
I still have iTunes.
Yeah,
I know, but iTunes too. Like apparently, even when you buy digital media, you
own it. You own the rights to it.
No,
permanently.
Is that true? Okay, that's true for music. That's not true for like other things like video games. Apparently,
if you buy it off of iTunes, then you own the rights to it. Like you're paying the money for that song or that album.
Right, but apparently with like video games, if you buy video games digitally, they can still be taken away from you.
No, not that I'm aware of. You can still
I think what that is like if you buy them and you're not like downloading them. Like if you're just like playing them kind of like you do streaming, like it's like got to be like streamed to play it. Like when you download it, you download it.
That's what I thought, but unless I misread some stories I've seen,
I think some people explained it and it got taken that way.
But that being said, I'm old school when it comes to video games. I want the actual disc if I can get it, and Okay. I'm with you, JC. Unless I'm extremely impatient, I'll put it down. Let me explain. When Spider-Man 2 was out, I was like, I want this, and I want it now, and I don't feel like going to the store. That being said, I am gaming on a budget. I'm so thankful that the free games on PlayStation Plus this month are MLB The Show 24. I'm having a blast finally getting to play it, and the new Harry Potter Quidditch game, which is fan-fucking-tastic. So,
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really
Bandcamp is still up? I didn't know Bandcamp was still up, Rebel. I thought that website closed years ago.
Also, real quick, going back to Evanescence, My Immortal.
Yeah.
But the one that stays piano, not the one that gets the guitar in.
Yeah.
Like the original just piano one, I love that. I'm not as big a fan of the guitar coming in on the band version, whatever's going.
Back to wrestling, guys. Anything else happening with Hybrid or anything?
How often do we actually talk wrestling?
I know.
Like both of them talking about Bandcamp.
Wow. Man, hold on. When's the last time I was actually on Bandcamp?
Let's really start confusing this younger generation. LimeWire.
Napster.
Huzzah.
Do you guys want to hear the funny story about LimeWire?
Dude, are you able? Like I know we kind of say bad words sometimes, but are you allowed to say what you accidentally downloaded and it was the? Oh.
No, it's not that kind of story. I wouldn't tell you that story on here. We're recorded and like someone could watch it later. I'm not running to be senator. But no. So Lagaya had an old Apple Mac. and she told me like years ago, like, oh, when they just stopped working. So a couple years ago, we grabbed it and plugged it in, and the first thing I saw was LimeWire. I deleted that immediately. So I was like, I said, there's your problem, and I deleted it immediately because she wanted to get it working. Because she was hoping it would work, because she had a whole lot of baby pictures of Alana on there, and she wanted to get them off. And so it's like, it turned on. It's like, oh my god, I think it's working. The second the home screen came out, I said, there's a problem. I deleted LimeWire immediately.
The thing that makes me laugh even more is that and Napster are so old. Was it the Italian Job where one of the characters is like, I actually invented Napster and it was stolen from me? One of the characters, I think it's the Italian Job, or it's a movie like that. There was like a whole character. Was it Seth Green? I don't know. I forget exactly. But there was a movie like that where the whole character was like, supposedly he invented Napster and he was the guy's roommate and he stole it from him. And now that movie is like old and a classic. So like it got referenced in a movie years later, and that's now super old. So yeah, that's just, we're old. That's all it is.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah, it was Seth Green, and it was the Italian Job. Just double check. You're right.
Boom.
Hybrid Experience Coast to Coast Invasion, Saturday, September 28th, 7 p.m. Central Time, doors at 6 at the Hybrid School of Wrestling off of Eckerd in San Antonio, Texas. Should be a little bit cooler, but bring a fan if you can. Yeah. You know.
And by the way, and this is for you guys and for everyone watching, I am going to unfortunately have to be there if I do make it late again, because I had such a good streak for like 2 years of wrestling shows not interfering with anything personal. And then in the last several months, it's just like they chose a Father's Day show. They chose this. So like in August, the Mission Pro show. Yeah, it was it was the hybrid show. It was the day of my dad's birthday. Yeah. And then we're celebrating my mom's birthday on Saturday. Her birthday is October 1st. But we're celebrating on the Saturday before. So I will unfortunately miss a bunch of those matches. I hope to get there before the end, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit late. God, I'm annoyed because my son is playing in a fall league for baseball, and they just gave us a schedule of games, and he has his second game at 7:15 at night that night. So as soon as that game is over, we'll be hightailing it over to Hybrid, and we'll get there as soon as we can for sure. So, yep. All right, Tommy, yes. Dog Pound Wrestling. What do they have coming up this weekend?
I only have a couple of matches listed. I do know that it looks like Misty Marks will be there both days. Christy Jane will be there both days. Sunday for sure. Barry Brown, he should be there both days, I think. Yeah, because on Saturday he's facing Doe Dempsey, so I don't know if he's facing him Sunday, but he's facing him Saturday. Izzy James and Soda Pop will be on Sunday. Missy James and Misty Marks, Chrissy James. Wow, I'm so tired, dude. Oh no, she's gonna. That's the one part Misty's gonna hear and be mad at me for. I mean, what else is there? Yeah. But she's defending the DCPW Women's Championship against Chrissy James. I'm so excited for this match. Ghetto Fabulous is defending against the belts against City Boys. Ghetto Fabulous is so annoying. I want them to lose so bad. They get on my last freaking nerve, bro. Mike, this will make you happy. Merovic is taking on Iman Deshaun.
Who?
Merovic, the big dude.
Yeah, I remember him.
He's facing Iman. Dude with.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah, I don't know if the belt's on the line. This doesn't say, but you know. I
feel
also
like it should be.
Yeah, I also want Iman punched in the face, so I also like him to lose, please. Total Pimp versus Danny Brown Jr. Make sure Hoss Holding versus Vertigo on. Okay, Hoss is having the time of his life right now, and I think he needs to stop because he's having too much fun.
So real quick, when I first heard about him, I thought he was someone who had been wrestling through Texas for years, and apparently I was wrong. Apparently he got into wrestling in his late 50s.
Yeah.
And has only been wrestling for the last handful of years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but hats off to him. That's awesome.
Unfortunately, he's still giving me hope. That's the worst part about that. I'm like, because like before, my only role model was DDP, And now I got Haas holding, which is like, so.
And Tommy, let's be honest. There's a list of wrestlers in Texas alone that would love for you to get in the ring. So just let them know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Who's training? I'll be right there. And they're like,
Lance Archer has never moved quicker.
Like I should be training for a year. No, you'll be ready in 3 months. That's not enough time. We'll make it enough time. I'll be at work. Surprise shop! Oh my god! How did you get in here?
Hey, you want your students to pay attention? They'll pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Sir, do you need help?
I feel like if I started training, I would just be like the example of what would happen, like what can happen in the ring. It's like, all right, I'm going to teach you guys a very extremely dangerous wrestling move that you should only do when you're properly trained to do it. Tommy, get in here. Damn it. Need I remind you I'm in my late 30s? Well, okay, what is this when everyone wanted me to wrestle Paige? I don't understand where this comes from. What did I do?
I don't know. She seemed last week to have slight issues with some things you've done. I don't know.
I don't know.
She must have a good memory.
Find out.
Okay. Aaron Eagle didn't wrestle for 14 years before coming back to the ring. Okay, I mean, like again,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just saying, like we said, McGinnis just came back. I mean, I know he was at All In for the casino battle or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, he'd been out basically a decade. So
yeah, but the difference is Nigel McGuinness. That's just like Rocky Balboa coming back to a fight. It's like the greatest of all time, just doing it all over again.
Yeah, but one thing I will give him is like how different he looks now from when he was wrestling and had more of that spiked British punk look is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But Kenny Omega and Tanahashi reuniting. Well, Omega's on his way back. Do you mean Tanahashi or do you mean Ibushi?
Ibushi. Oh yeah,
I've heard they're coming back. Women, they remember everything. Am I right? Damn.
Okay, he gets to say that, but Pete wants to kick my ass. Okay, sure, whatever.
Well, most people don't know James as well as they know you. So I mean, give it time. He's definitely working on having people want to beat him up. I mean,
I'm just like, it's always me though. Damn.
Yeah, but Tommy, how many people recognize you from your voice at shows? You've been doing this for, what did we say, 17 years?
Actually, next month it'll be 19.
Okay, so 19.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, hold on. I gotta take a second there.
You've put your time into annoying wrestlers, so you shouldn't be surprised.
Dude, it'll be 20 years since my first ever indie show next year.
Yeah, you're amazing. Like several years younger than us, and you've been doing this longer. So I mean,
that's weird to me. Yeah. That's really weird to me.
I mean, for what it's worth, if I had known earlier, we would have been there. But we've heard stuff, but it wasn't really till that Rumble 2007 weekend.
I'm trying to figure out how I even knew about the first show. It had to have been MySpace. I'm serious. Like that's the only way I do anything. But it had to be MySpace.
How quickly did you put the wrestlers in your top 8? Was Angel Blue ever in your top 8?
I don't think I knew. That. No, I don't think I knew Angel Blue well enough when MySpace was still a thing. And my top, and no, honestly, my top 8 was legitimately for friends, family, and chicks I was trying to talk to.
Oh, okay. I was like, this isn't your calling circle. Oh, okay.
And my ex was number 1 while we were together. So
that would make sense.
All right. Well,
MySpace we found David Kidd's next gimmick.
Tommy, where are the Dog Pound Wrestling events this weekend?
They are going to be. The first one will be on Saturday at the Shatton Bowl in Castroville, Texas, 2374 US Highway 90. Okay. Doors open at 6. Bell time is 7:30. And on Sunday, it will be September 5339 UTA Boulevard at Big's Burger Joint. Nice. VIP is 4:30. Doors open at 5. Bell time at 6.
And knowing that Biggs, that's actually a pretty nice place for.
It really is a cool place for wrestling. I love that there's one fan in the middle they had to completely take apart because it was too close to the ring, and the dudes kept almost kicking it.
It get dangerous.
And I'm sure Biggs like, you know what, just dismantle the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
This is not worth it right now.
All right, with that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here.
1 minute warning.
Mike, do you have something this week?
Do I have something this week? I don't know. I think I'm going to pass. I'm not sure I really do.
All right. Tommy, what about you?
I got something.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, sir. Go for it.
This is just going to be a special shout out and happy birthday to friend of the WrestleCast, Eliana, who is killing it all over the world, almost literally, because she was just recently in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's going
Jamaica.
back over in that direction at some point. I think next month. So big shouts out to her. Me and her have talked several times about her career, things she's up to, and if you know her, you know she's just a wonderful person, just one of the most fun people to be around. Has some of the funniest side commentary you'll ever hear because you have to be sitting near her to hear it, and also for some reason always is given the match where they have to fight immediately. It's like she cannot even announce properly because somebody got to be throwing hands right away, except for like the last RCW show that happened to Carolina, which never happens to Carolina. So. But yeah, just happy birthday to her. Congrats on all her success, and can't wait to see what she does next.
Yes.
All right.
All those statements were 100% true.
Yeah. I'll jump right into mine as the timer resets here, but hopefully, whenever. Great. Is this thing freeze on me? What the hell? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I wanted to say, this talk we've had about AEW, WWE, this stuff like that, comparisons. Look, Mike, Tommy, and I lived through it. We lived through the Attitude Era. That was a real competition. That was them going head to head. That's where they had the stars. We don't have that in WWE. We don't have it between WWE and AEW. AEW, TNA, they're all alternatives. And honestly, the best comparison I've heard came from Darby Allin on Busted Open Radio. If you guys haven't heard this yet, they asked him what kind of is the difference. And, in Darby music, he makes big music comparisons. He basically said it this way. WWE is like Taylor Swift and AEW is like Slayer. We all make music. We just make different kinds. And, he says, I think he said, compare the two. One might be a little more offensive. One might take some risks, do something a little bit different. And that's really what it's about. There's no reason why you can't be a fan of both. Maybe one is just an alternative. They tell different stories and do things different ways, and that's okay. Both are great companies. Everyone just appreciate what you're living through, because believe me, as somebody who lived through an age of competition and wanted it to come back, I'm just grateful that it is back in this form, and I really do appreciate what we have as wrestling fans now.
And I 100% agree. I saw that, and I love how people are still trying to somehow get on Darby for that because and everything like that. Well, because you know how fans are. Well, fans. Yeah. But it's like because he's right, and even then, I'll go a bit further. I just feel like both companies kind of have we've been mentioning music all night, different playlists at different times. Yeah. And it's not like either playlist is really bad. It's just that sometimes AEW they'll do Slayer or they'll do this random anime song or they'll do rap. And then in WWE, they'll do Taylor Swift. They'll do, another rap song. They'll do maybe a metal song here and there. And it's just it's to me, I'm really, even when the WWE does something I'm not a huge fan of, I'm kind of done getting bent out of shape over it. It's like I like the direction they're heading in now, which I think is a lot of fun. They're doing a lot of great stuff. If I don't like something, I just don't like something. Kind of same with AEW. I love this what they're doing. And if they don't like something, if they do something I don't like, yeah, okay, that was a miss. But that's everything, And honestly, let's just keep it a buck. If we're gonna talk about shows that are consistently good, we need to talk about TNA more often.
But it's also worth stating for those who, and you're right, they're not the same type of competition it was with the Attitude Era. Yeah. But if you look at what WWE was when AEW debuted compared to what they are now, and yes, there was obviously a big change in that, you can't tell me that they didn't realize they had to get their together because they were coasting from years of basically domination and really crappy pushes of Roman Reigns. So,
and again, part of that is because we had a change in who's in charge, right? That has a lot to do with it.
But also because there was a more legitimate alternative that had more money behind it And remember, it was when it first debuted. You know, it was a house on fire to a certain extent.
And I'll even go a bit further to say, like, you know, not that they would beat them, but if WWE had not changed at all, it like a lot of the successes that they have right now with like these streaming and business deals, I don't think they'd have.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to say they destroy them and they gonna go away, but I think they would be not as big anymore. You know, they would. You know, I feel like all the extra work they put in have kept them on top where they're supposed to be because they've been around longer, so that makes sense. But you know, I feel like AEW was the kick in the ass they needed, which you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I'll go even further.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Nope.
You okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I gotta check.
What'd you do?
Nothing. All right. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm seeing a report that Bleacher Report is closing.
I saw that.
Okay.
So far, I heard it's true.
All right. So if I'm just reading a tweet, I have to see, but it sounds like Bleacher Report is closing and AEW is permanently moving to Fight Triller TV, starting with Wrestle Dream. You'll be able to maintain your Bleacher Report library of previously bought pay-per-views on Fight.
Oh, I heard them talking about something about, but I wasn't paying attention. I just heard you'll be able to keep your previously purchased pay-per-views.
Okay.
That makes
I'm
me
going
think.
to have to look into this because I do have some pay-per-view purchases on Bleacher Report, so I'll have to see if I can. I'm supposed to merge that with my Fight TV account somehow, so we'll figure that out. Anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, keep that in mind if you ever bought some stuff on Bleacher Report, which from the beginning of AEW's history, that's where you would buy them. So.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for joining us on this week's episode. Once again, United 210 is Friday at the Yard, 1003 McCully Avenue. Hybrid Experience is going to be Saturday, 7 p.m. at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. Dog Pound Wrestling has shows on Saturday in Castroville and on Sunday at the Biggs off UTSA Boulevard. Next week, we will recap those events, kind of give a brief thing for the ones we attend, and then we're going to preview a returning WWE pay-per-view, WWE Bad Blood, and dare I say this is shaping up to be a really, really good show with what has been set up so far.
I hear there are rumors that Kane is supposed to debut. So. Oh, wait. Well, never mind. That was the wrong one.
He's alive, Undertaker! He's alive!
Wait.
Kane, don't
Isn't there a Hell in the Cell with this Bad Blood, too?
Yeah.
Because it's McIntyre. Oh, someone's coming to rip that door off.
McIntyre,
Might be Braun Breaker.
Priest versus Balor, Nia Jax versus either Bayley or Naomi. Cody
it's a triple
and
threat,
Reigns,
if I remember correctly.
Do they
the women's?
Because, okay.
No, because it was supposed to be whoever got the pin for the face team gets the match, and Bayley and Naomi pinned Tiffany and Nia at the same time. So that was, if I remember from SmackDown, it's a triple threat right now.
Oh.
Cody and Roman versus the Bloodline, and just set up yesterday, or Monday, I should say, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
We knew it had to happen eventually.
It's
also,
not
James,
are you Dom match, but it's close. Yeah.
Are you the runt of the Brothers of Destruction?
I believe it.
Be at this point.
Are you you're like the one who wears the little yellow jacket, and you're like the Brothers of Construction instead? Or?
Brothers of Construction, I love it.
Nice.
Real quick before we go, I just saw this. Shout out to Angela Dawkins. His baby was born today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice.
Congrats to him and the wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Over here, we got Tom. We got Mike. And I'm JC. As always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Boom. Boy.
See you next week.
Adios, Gunther.